Hi, everybody. Whoever is here that I can't see, that's super awkward, but you know. We just want to kind of have a touch point every week to get together, and so you can see the chaos of my own life and I can see the chaos of yours. I know that a lot of you went to sectionals this week, and I heard that they went really well. Scotty said that he had all 3 sectionals running simultaneously, like in his living room, which sounds amazing and terrifying all at the same time. So I just want to be here to answer any questions, just kind of go through the list of things that I know a lot of you are kind of hearing over and over, but remembering that tracks are due by Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. And then we will sing through the piece. I was going to have an accompanist here, but he's dealing with the melting down children in the other room. So you get me at the keyboard. Someone just turned bright yellow. Oh, okay, great. And then I'm super comfortable with all this technology, just so we're all super clear about that. And yeah, go from there. So first of all, just in terms of making sure that we're all on the same page, like I said, the tracks are due by Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Ginny posted a really awesome YouTube link of the different tech needs. Obviously, if you need help with tech, I'm the person you should come to, for I am super good with all of those things. But making sure that you have the video and that you can also hear your own part in your headphones. So it's going to take a little bit of figuring stuff out in advance to make sure you have that all there, and just re-articulating that you have to use the video and the track so that everything lines up. Otherwise, it's going to be slippy slidey, etc. We're saying plain shirts. We're saying something plain in the background. And record horizontally if you can. And then do a short introduction. Start with, start my track in your ear and then do that crazy clap thing that we have to do. And then just make sure that you don't do the thing that so many people are doing right now, where you finish singing and then you like go to do the thing and we see all the wrinkles on your forehead. Make sure you finish and then you smile. Give us a couple of seconds at the end. There are specific instructions that have been sent to you about how to name your track. And then, so when you're doing these tracks, just make sure that you look pleasant, that you're not super concentrating. Find a way to make sure that you're not staring at music. Put it in line with where you're going. Try to look happy. And there's going to be a lot of people on these tracks. If there's a note you're unsure of, smile your way through it, my friends, right? And we don't need like the biggest articulation of your life, because that's going to make it harder to line up. We want to make sure that we're clean and accurate. Jacob was saying that to us last week, but we do also have to take some technological considerations into account, okay? And then the biggest thing is help us spread the word. So make sure that you are, after you record your track or while you're recording your track, take a video of you and your cat. Whatever, you know, awkward piece of your life you have that you want to include in it, it's time to start letting people know that we're doing this. So, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you know, carrier pigeons, whatever way you have of sort of telling people about this. Don't forget, you can still invite people to be a part of this project, but that's sort of what I got. Katie, Ginny, and I don't know if Mike is on this call as well, but is there anything else I'm forgetting?
Mike is on this call. That's
great. Hi, Mike.
That sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay, Mike's there, but Ginny's not anymore. I'm going to figure this out. It's going to be great. Oh, Mike got a big screen pop. Hi, Mike.
Hey. Well, whoever's talking focuses on.
No, that I know. Oh, wait. Oh, now you're all there. Jenny, did you do that for me? Somehow I suspect that someone else fixed that for me.
No.
Okay.
Literally impossible. But yes, I would love to take credit for that. Hashtag board chair.
All right, great, fantastic. Jenny, Mike, anything else musically, not technologically, that we should highlight?
Think you're good?
Nope. Good to go. Wait, now I can see Olivia Suttles is here. This is awesome. And Mary Anderson is here. All these people, Susan Shapiro, hi. All these people I haven't seen in a while. This is great. Hi, everybody. All right, so how many of you, raising your hands, I guess, how many of you were at sectionals? So most of you, but not all. Cool. So do any of you have questions before we jump in, or should we just go ahead and do a sing through? No, I don't see anybody unmuting. Oh, but I hear somebody. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead to the top of the piece.
Kellyanne.
Oh,
Before we do the sing through, I think we need to at least touch on the soprano divisis because there are some sopranos in the chat, specifically around measure 80, so people know what's happening before we get to those parts.
Totally. So can you talk through that, Jenny?
Yeah, so any sopranos on the call, we're going to be taking a look at after letter C. So we've got soprano 1 and soprano 2 split, and it's that way throughout the entirety. Actually, let's take this back a step. We need to talk about divises the entire way through the piece for those people that aren't familiar with it. Cool. So starting at the very beginning of the piece, I'm not even doing the soprano split right now, just the very beginning of the split of the entire piece. So from beginning to measure 11, that is an all women divisi there. Sorry, all women sing that part, the melody at the beginning. At measure 11, the divisi will go soprano, all on the top line, alto 1 on the second line, alto 2 on the third line. Cool? From there, it'll stay that way until we get to measure 27. At measure 27, we go into an ABC split. This is mostly important for people that were in gala, so you could keep the same stuff that you learned. If you didn't sing in the gala cycle, just stay on your same line, and that's going to be fine. The numbers will line up either way. Just know in your track that if you're going to stay on your same line, if you're soprano 2, you would want the soprano 2B part to stay on the same line. Continuing on, so we're an ABC split for there. At measure, scrolling down quite a bit, we're still in that ABC split. So remember soprano 2B, soprano 1A, that's what you'll want to listen to. At measure 53, this is where we go into S1, S2, alto. And it will as written, and it will stay that way the entirety of the piece. So in an ideal world where we would have had rehearsals, we could have looked at divises later on and split it up a little bit better, but just for sake and ease of rehearsal tracks and recording and not making people move lines too much, everyone's just going to stay on their assigned line. So from measure, like I said, 53 on, where the altos take the melody, that is S1, S2, alto for the entire rest of the piece. Yep. Looking at a little bit forward, there are some soprano divises. So specifically soprano 1 divises. At gala cycle, only a few people were assigned by Kelly Ann to sing the high B flats. If you are not one of those people, don't sing the high B flats. You have a track that's called soprano 1A bottom notes. That's what you should be listening to. If you are soprano 1 and you don't want to hear those high B flats to even be tempted by them, do the soprano 1 bottom notes. When you get to measure 73, this is where the breakdown starts. It's kind of a return to some of the themes we saw in the first part of the movement. Soprano 2s have this star. It is completely whispered the whole time with the crescendo, so star, star. That's something that Jacob confirmed. It's not in the track that you'll hear. I mean, his demo track, it's in your rehearsal track, but that it is a whispered star. The star. So weird to do it on a video call. It is a whispered star with a slight crescendo. Soprano 1s now have a divisi. Starting at measure 81, there's a C3, a C4, and a high G. That high G is only for those people that were assigned the high B flat. So if you're not one of those people, don't sing the high G. However, there is a divisi in the soprano 1. You're not going to have the soprano 2 backup there, so that's going to be soprano 1 self-select which note. What we were saying at the sectional is if you are comfortable sustaining a C4 for 2 measures and you don't feel like you're going to have to break and you're comfortable with it, then take the higher note. It's an even split. Otherwise, take the lower note. There's going to be enough people on either pitch that it's going to be fine. We can kind of figure it out, but if you're comfortable holding that C4 for a while, then you can take that higher note. Otherwise, just sing the lower C3, and it should be good. And I think it's only for a few measures. I would caution if you're one of those few people that are popping up to the G that was assigned that was assigned by Kellyanne at Gala that you take some time to learn that rhythm because it is different between measures 81 and 85. So it's just a little bit different. So make sure you're listening to your track so you know exactly where that falls so it'll all line up. And I think that's pretty at the end, the very end of the piece, there's another divisi in the soprano 2 line. Either note is fine. Just choose your own adventure because both of those notes are doubled in other parts. So it's not extremely important which note that you pick unless Kellyanne has something else to say about that.
I don't. Cool. Yeah, the only thing I'm concerned about is the balance of a high note. The only thing I will say is Scotty sent me this PDF, and I'm wondering if I have an older edition because I don't have a G, a high G, 8185. Is that new?
This is super important. So about a week or so ago, like right after we went live with this, Jacob sent out a new edition. It's the one that's on the website. So if between like the first few days, if you downloaded the piece on the website, it's only important for soprano ones. But if you downloaded the piece like the first day, you're super excited and that's the one you have, go back to the website and get the new edition because it does have that high G on it. That wasn't there when we recorded the rehearsal tracks or when you did your conducting. That's a brand new edition.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad to know that and to discover it for everybody else. Thank you so much for section leaders who've been living with this piece in a whole new world. And for sopranos who get excited to have another high G, Merry Christmas. All right, so if you haven't been singing on Zoom, it's a beautiful experience in that we'll sort of get started. I'll sort of chunk this out and then have you mute. But we can probably sing like one big chord all together at the very end because latency won't matter. We'll just rock it out and it'll change our lives. But until that time, we'll just sort of get together. You all know that I am a terrible, atrocious pianist. I'm also wondering what this will sound like with my computer sitting on the keyboard. So just sort of let me know. Is that terrifying or is it okay? Sound-wise? Is it like making your ears want to die? Here, try this.
It's fine. It's not that bad.
And no, I have not had our piano tuned since we moved. Thank you. Of course, I have a plant stand next to the piano. Let's see if this is better. Fine. Cool.
It's fine.
May the force be with you. Let's do sort of this opening section, remembering that the beginning is unison. Tenors and basses are going to join us at 27 and 28. Here we go. 2, 3, and. Let's try one more time because I'm going way too fast because I've had my coffee already. So let's go back so that we set our tempo that matches up a little bit more with what we were doing before. 2 and Up to that point, a large majority of us will have sung that much because we started learning it for the gala. Are there any questions that I can answer? It's pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of making sure that you know your parts, tenor, bass, soprano, or alto ones and alto twos in terms of how that fits together. The only rhythmic thing to just be careful about are the triplets, making sure that only your light, because that's going to be hard to line up if we don't have everybody singing that exactly where it is. Cool? Going on? Starting at page 5, this is measure 45. And remembering that when we get to measure 53, that's where we go into our ABC split. Or sorry, that's where we come out of our ABC split so that the alto line has the melody on that. Celebrate the golden dawn. Making sure that rhythmically everything has that sort of booty shake in it, right? My piano bench squeaks, so if you could get that. Yeah.
Just 2 rhythmic notes here that are a little different than how it's written. Don't forget on all of these yours, it stretches a little. Oh my light, I see your light. Every time that rhythm happens. And then altos, when you get to that celebrate rhythm, we've added a little breath and a rest on beat 4. Celebrate the golden dawn. And it's not there, but every time you sing that, it happens.
Absolutely. Yep. And make sure that it's not a Mozart T, but it's almost like a catch breath right there, right? Celebrate the morning star, blah, 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 whatever the words are. I made up words. Aren't they great? All right. Also dynamics, because if everybody records here, it's just going to get real blah. And right at 45, this section right here is such an easy dynamic build, right? It's a 4-bar mezzo piano, mezzo forte, forte, yeah, and then again. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your blah. Jerdishmer, ba ba ba. Celebrate here, blah blah blah. And then way back down. Okay, here we go. 45. 2, 3, and. Oh my life, I see your light. I see your love. Nevermore the light will shade your sunlight, your sunlight. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my love, I see your love. Nevermore the night will shade your sunlight, your sunlight. Celebrate the morning dawn. Open your eyes to the morning star. Celebrate the rising sun. Open your eyes to So when we get to this section right here, for just in terms of formally, 70, 71, 72 is almost feels like a tag, right? So we get this nice build when we get to this, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, let it be arrive. Then echo again. And that whole, comedy power of 3. Here's our 3rd time through that thought. And then we get this. And then this little tag. For those of you who sang the gala, we made that a big old fat fermata and ended there. But it goes back into another one of these, oh my light, I see your shmur. That's different than the last one that we did that was like that. So making sure that you don't get in the habit of that fermata, you're going right on. Any questions about that section and my beautiful playing of it? Great, fantastic. So going on, letter C. This is new from the gala. And Ginny, the only thing I'm missing in this score is that high G. It's not going to change anybody's life, right? Jenny, could you pour me a cup of coffee too? That would be lovely. Thanks so much. Excellent. Wonderful. All right, here we go. Letter C. So we are in an S1, S2, alto divisi right here. Second sopranos, you need to come in on beat 3 and crescendo all the way to the downbeat, right? So you get 1, 2, star, and star, okay? And then always going back to piano. What else do you need to know here? We just sing the note C 197 bajillion times, except for that added G.
Just clarifying, it's a whispered star, not a spoken star.
Thank you. Yes. Star. A forte whisper. What's the word I'm looking for? Sotto voce forte. Something. All right, here we go. So 1, 2, letter C. Good luck. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I. And then the guys down here. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your light. 1, 2, 3, and Mr. Boche. Two crescendo to the bar line. 1, 2, 3, letter D. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your light. Never know the night will share your sunlight, your sunlight. Oh my life, I see your light. Oh my life, I see your light. Never know the night will share your sunlight, your sunlight. Celebrate the golden dawn. Open your eyes to the morning star. And then you go to page 13. Can we start, just so that we can get into that? This is bar 97. 14. Scotty, I miss an office that prints and collates and all the things. All right, here we go. Starting at measure 97, where this chorus starts rocking back out. 2, ready, and go. Celebrate. Open your eyes to the morning star. Celebrate the rising sun and open your eyes to Sorry, and then this is this section that doesn't really represent anything that we've done before. So starting at the sunlight right here, 2, back to 117, 2, and the two, light and 1, 2. Everybody sing your last chord on the word love. So choosing from that E flats and unmute. 2, sing it, and. Perfection. So great. I hate that is the best that we get to do to sing together, but I figure it's just good for us to just sort of go through it. Obviously, this is not the guide track. You have a beautiful guide track given to you not only with your own voice, but also Jacob's great rendition of him singing every single part, along with does his demo have accompaniment on it? I don't even remember. Yeah, great. It has accompaniment on it. Perfection. Any questions that I can answer? Cool.
I forgot about one other thing we talked about during our sectionals, Kellyanne, was that we can't fix bad vowels with sound. So
Yeah.
Think about your vowels.
Yeah, and we know that YPCC tends to skew bright, and I blame that on the fact that our folks are mostly happy and excited to sing. So especially if you have been living a life that doesn't, allow you to sing very much, and you're exceptionally happy, be aware that that whole, guidepost of making sure that your lips are away from your teeth, that you have space in between those back vowels. Making sure that there's space throughout is just going to help us in the editing process, which begins later this week, I guess, with Dolan, right? Once we do all those tracks. So especially Cody's brother, who is serving as our editor and putting all of this together.
There are some things we can do about vowels, though, mostly just paying attention to the text. There are some places where the vowels change mid, like, sustained note, so just make sure you're watching for those so that we're all doing the changes together. There's a section where it goes ooh, oh, ah, all within like one measure, so just pay attention to those, and that'll help a lot because it's not intuitive. You just look at the note, just know that sometimes it does change mid sustain.
Cool. Scotty, how many submissions do we have so far? You're on mute, love.
I know, I'm checking. I know it's at least I'm opening right now. Oh, so we have at least like 8, it looks like, so far. Jess Stiver, I think, was the first one, and she did a fantastic job, so I might like post some of her video on the page soon. But yeah, just get it in. Know that the editing process will edit out any like minor mistakes you might personally make in your video. Katie made a good point when we were starting this whole thing. The quantity of people that are going to do this will make up for any like minor insecurities that you might have. And we also have a guy who's going to mix the audio. So the balance between voice part will be adjusted. If we only have like 3 tenors and we have 20 sopranos, we will adjust that balance accordingly.
Yeah, it's a little scary because I have no idea how many people are going to actually submit. If it's going to be 8 plus y'all here, or if it's going to be much bigger. I suspect it's going to be much bigger. But it's like a YPCC cycle where I'm like, I wonder how many people will actually sign up. And then they all sign up 2 hours before the first rehearsal, or 2 hours after the first rehearsal, or things like that. But that's sort of the ethos and the joy of who we are. I will say I've had some rough days this week, and I miss you all a lot. And I see some of you are having rough times too. And let's keep singing together, even in these really weird ways and all the things. Stop it, Olivia. It's your fault. Anyways, I hope you all have great weeks and sing, and I can't wait to hear what this sounds like. Scotty, let me know if there's anything else that I should be doing, but I'm assuming that now we're going into the realm of tech. I'm out. And yeah, if you have any questions, Katie, Jenny, Mike, singers only page, or tag me if it's something that's sort of big. But I'm not going to make any changes to anything right now because the tracks are rolling in. Anything else we need to talk about, or are we good to go on with our Saturdays? Awesome. All right, everybody have great days. Bye.
Yep. Hey, everybody, thank you.
Love you, friends.